Hello there, everyone. Pearl Jr. here. How is everyone doing? I haven't been live for a minute. Sorry, I'm busy growing my stays all day Shea. Let's do work and play, because everybody has skin. So anyway, I have been getting so many great reviews, so much repeat business. Thank you all. So go to theskinbutterstore.com. I'm not at the Skin Butter store today. I am at home in my home office. But go to theskinbutterstore.com or staysalldayshay.com, which will be in the description down here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got a lot of news to get to, and I got to get to it fast because I'm going to a market to sell shea butter. So I got to get out of here. Oh my God. I have like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Okay. So anyway, Stays All Day Shea. Make sure you order your shea butter. It is fabulous. It smells like designer fragrances, or you can get frankincense, myrrh, and ylang ylang, which is very healing and spiritual. Good for headaches. Ylang ylang is good for libido, so be careful. Or you can get like lavender, and lemongrass, which helps repel mosquitoes. And you can have great skin while you take great care of your skin, and you can smell great too. So staysalldayshay.com. All right, let me show you what we're doing today. Okay, behind me, let's see that? Okay, that's a part of the live, some of our live footage, which we recorded live at the Michael Jackson 2005 trial, right? So Cecil has finally got around to taking it off of these tiny little cassettes and bringing them to a more modern format. So he's downloading it all, and then he's going to put it on some fancy, I don't know, format. And I have promised for years that the 12 episodes or 13 episodes of True Talk that we aired in Los Angeles, because we were credentialed media for his 2005 trial, in which he was completely innocent, and that I had predicted, and my commentary that I do in a live, Michael Jackson, the trial and triumph of the King of Pop. God, I can go on and on about things. I came right out of the courtroom, okay, because there's no cameras allowed in the courtroom, and I predicted from a testimony, not from a fan, from a journalist, because I'm going to tell you guys something. If, as much as I love Michael Jackson, and I do, and I've loved him since I was a child, right? If he molested children, I would have reported it. If there was evidence that he was a child molester, I would have reported that, right? So I am here to tell you guys, based on someone who was in the courtroom, who studied Michael Jackson, there is zero evidence of Michael Jackson molesting any child. As a matter of fact, it got all twisted up. I believe Michael was scarred when Mickey Howard got pregnant with Brandon. I believe that at that time, between Off the Wall, which was the highest selling album by a solo black artist at that time. And then, so he got a $750,000 budget to do his next album, which happened to be Thriller. Mickey got pregnant with Michael, with the child Brandon, during that period of time. And Michael thought that it would ruin his career as a bachelor. Okay, because when three of his brothers got married at 18, Marlon, Tito, and Jermaine got married, he thought that ruined their bachelor status. And girls want to dream that they can be with you, right? So when Mickey got pregnant, and Joe and Catherine don't believe in abortions, all the kids, they got 10 kids. Joe got 10, Catherine gave birth to 10, except for Marlon had a twin named Brandon, who died one day after birth. So Joe really had 11 kids with Giovanni. Okay, so they didn't believe in abortions. So what they did was they devised a plan, in my opinion, through my research, that Augie Johnson would be the pretend dad. And Augie Johnson was a background singer on Michael's Off the Wall album. Michael's so messed up in the head about it, right? He's like, it's not my son, it's not my son, it's not my son, it's not my son. He wrote a song about it because he prayed to God that, he denied that the baby was his, right? During her pregnancy, 40 days and 40 nights, right? Which means 40 weeks of pregnancy, right? And he tells you she's more like a beauty queen. Mickey was in teen beauty contest. She was either a performer or a contestant, but she was involved in it. And everything in that song, the timing, the date, we have Mickey Papa Joe was Mickey Howard's manager. Okay, at that time, Michael, I put in the last video, Michael said, there's a lot of truth to the story. Then later on, he said it was about groupies, but that's not true. It's a son, and Brandon is a son, and the name Brandon is family name. Michael would name him after his deceased brother. Mickey Howard loved Billie Holiday. She came in his room, which meant that she was in the house, right? Because he said she came in a room with the smell of sweet perfume and she seduced his ass. I would have did the same thing too, Mickey. I would have did the same damn thing, right? And because Mickey lived at the house at Havenhurst at that time because Joe was her manager. Okay. And so anyway, it goes on and on and on and on. Michael said he wanted the set of Billie Jean to replicate the streets of Chicago. Mickey's from Chicago. I mean, it just goes on and everything fits, the timing and everything. And Michael was so messed up about it. Also, Michael talked about the NDA and want to be starting something. I'm going somewhere with this. Want to be starting something, right? He says Billie Jean's always talking when nobody else is talking. So he's telling you that an NDA, and Mickey Howard said she signed an NDA. What else for, right? If you can't feed the baby, don't have a baby, right? Because Mickey was a struggling artist at the time, right? And he said, they feed off of you, they feed off of you. He says he's a vegetable because they feed off of you. That means people want stuff from him all the time. Like he's a vegetable where they eat off of you and they feed off of you because he probably had to pay Mickey hush-hush money for her to sign that NDA, which makes perfect sense. And never tell anybody that she has a child by Michael Jackson, but she does. And Brandon's now 40-something years old. He grew up in the Jackson family. He knows Corey. He knew Lisa Marie's son, Benjamin. Unfortunately, he passed away. It all just fits. And I'm telling you this because there's been a lot of talk, okay, of Paris, what she's doing right now. Now, I think that it's time for Michael to come out. Okay, and introduce Brandon officially to the whole wide world because these child molestation accusations are getting wild and crazy. Okay, Frank Cassio, now it's reported that back in 2020, I think, the estate had to pay Frank Cassio $3.3 million. And now they're trying to shake him down because they apparently spent that money, right? Spent that money. And now they want $213 million, right? Garagos, who was once Michael's attorney, is representing Frank Cassio. Now, if there's any other Perez Hilton, there's not 5 new accusers. There's one, okay, that we didn't know about, which is Frank Cassio. Frank Cassio. Let me tell you something. Okay, when you were a child friend of Michael's, and the reason why Michael hung out with prepubescent boys was because they were the only ones that weren't sexually harassing him or having love crushes on him. That he could really do boy things. He could do boy things. And he didn't have to have sex involved or somebody trying to use him or trying to get close to him or trying to fall in love. And it just got twisted up backwards. Because if Michael was really having sex with all these boys, why didn't any of them grow up to be gay? None of them did. Okay, so that means that they weren't groomed and they weren't introduced to sex with a homosexual twist to it. I'm sorry. I hope people don't get mad at me, but that's something that needs to be talked about. Okay, that none of them grew up to be gay. And why not? Michael was nice, sweet, loving, giving, all these a fun playmate. Why wouldn't you want to keep going with that kind of relationship? Okay, because he never molested any of them. Okay. Now, I do believe as long as Michael keeps Brandon secret, because Brandon tried to come out after the death announcement. Genevieve's mom and Randy Jackson Jr.'s mom, Alejandra, she went with Brandon to Japan, and that's when, you know, Brandon was getting in the car and they said, "Are you Michael Jackson's son? Are you Michael Jackson's son?" That's when it first started coming out. People in Chicago, a guy told me in Chicago, it was a rumor for years and years. Eddie Levert, there's this what's her name? Oh my God. She is so famous and so Jaguar Wright. She said when she was at Eddie Levert, because Eddie Levert and Mickey Howard, they dated, but Eddie Levert died and there was a funeral. She said Mickey Howard was walking around telling people that she had Michael Jackson's son. Okay. So everything just matches. And I think Michael, he told me one time he didn't believe in karma because Billie Jean is his biggest hit, right? It's coming back. Karma will get you eventually. It's time for you to come out and tell people that you've had sex with women, you orgasmed inside of a woman, and you have an offspring. Okay? Now, I often wonder about Dante. Okay? I often wonder about Dante Jackson too. Did you know Dante's name is listed as a creditor in the Michael Jackson estate? Oh my God, I got to pull that up. I didn't even mean to talk about that, but that's what I discovered. I did some research. We're going to get to Paris and we're going to get to some rest in pieces and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's do LA Court. LA Court. Okay, LA Court. And here it is, LA Court's website. And I know the actual online services, access a case information, it's probate, and I know the number by heart, the probate case. We're going to talk about Paris and her challenge to the probate. But here we go. And did you know that there was 2 dates of, look at this. It must have been an error, right? Why would a probate case be open May 29th? That's before the death announcement, right? May 29th, Michael had a trust in which he is the trustee and the trustor. But here they are saying decedent, May 29th. What the hell? Michael supposedly died 6/25. Okay, so anyway, so let's go here. Let's just do the 5/25. Okay, here it is. This is where it says it was dismissed on 6/15/2018. What the heck? Dismissed? That means it's closed. The estate ain't closed. It ain't closed. Okay, so let's go back. See, 5/29 decedent. Isn't that craziness? Okay, so sometimes you can correct it, but the original information still stays on there. So let's just say that's a typo. Let's just say that's a typo. Okay, so let's go to Jackson. Let's go to J. Okay, Alejandra, this right here is party information. So all these people put in something with the estate. All these people, a claim, a lawsuit, something that the estate had to deal with, right? So here's Alejandra. She is the pretend mother of Dante because Randy Jackson Jr. and Dante are only a few months apart, like 6 months apart, and she couldn't have given birth to both of them. Okay? Dante, Joe had someone pick up Dante and take him to Havenhurst, and Alejandra got free rent all of Dante's adolescent life, and she lived at Havenhurst. Okay, why is Michael paying her way when it's Jermaine's children? Alejandra has kids by Jermaine, Randy, and apparently Michael. Okay, so that's why she got it. She's an objector to something. Anthony's a cousin. Billie Jean is a woman that says that the child was theirs. Look at Dante Williams Jackson. Okay, remember Dante came and took a picture with me at my farmer's market and bought some Shea butters? I'm going to tell you guys something when I can about why that came about. It's going to blow your mind, but I just can't tell right now. Genevieve, who is Dante's sister, Joseph, Walter, Catherine, Michael Joseph. Why is Michael Joseph? Because his name is Michael Joe. Okay, they said decedent, but his name is Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, this one is also saying that she was a child of Michael, or had Michael's children or something. Nona too said something about having a child by Michael. And then we have Paris. And then we have Prince Malachi Jet, which was, people thought it was a child of Michael's as well. Randy Jackson Jr. This is another one. I think she's tried to say that she had a kid with Michael. But anyway, so we have those Jacksons. But the other Jacksons aren't involved, okay, with the estate. Oh, let's look up the other number. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's look up the other number, the 629. Now look at this, the 629. Check this out. Okay, oops, 629. I hit the other one, 629. And here it says under court supervision from 4/30/2016. So they're overlapping by a couple of years, right? But there's no corresponding document for 4/30/2016. Okay, so it's all just crazy. This is that Nona Jackson consolidated case, but it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. Okay, so all the names are still the same. Okay, see? All the names are still the same. Okay, on it. All right. So anyway, so Paris, apparently, she has filed a challenge to the estate because they're several years behind in the accounting. And whenever I get the accounting, I tell you guys about the accounting. Okay. I tell you guys about the accounting, and I go through it and I tell you anything interesting. Well, apparently they are so far behind on their documents. Okay, hold on. Gosh, how am I going to finish this in time? Oh, kind in as guest. Okay, so this one, I have Paris's document. Hold on. Where is it? Paris. Where is it? Paris. Okay, I think this is it. Let's see. Nope, that's not the one. I had it. I saved it. I saved it, y'all. I saved it. Let me sort by date and type. And Paris's challenge to the estate. Here it is. Okay, here's the lawsuit. Okay. Okay, there's the lawsuit, okay, or the legal document. Not a lawsuit, it's a legal document. And she is pretty much challenging. And who the hell is Michael Joseph Jackson? His name is Michael Joe Jackson. All in the name, all in the game, guys. Okay, so Michael faked his death, period. There's nothing that's going to convince me otherwise. Okay, so what she's saying, stands up here, who has been helping with the molestation cases and Leaving Neverland. She's challenging two law firms for getting over $600,000 in bonus money. And Paris is saying, why are you giving them bonus money? Okay, well, why are you worrying about the money, Paris? Why are you worrying about it? You got your own job. You making money. Oh, you're getting married. Maybe the husband is forcing you to kind of go through this. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't live with them, but I'm just imagining. Okay, the husband to be, her fiance, perhaps, right? So, she is saying, please explain. And they're saying it was bonus money through one of the sales of Michael's catalogs, you know, because he owned EMI, he owned part of Sony, he owned part of EMI, he owned part of Sony, and he owns the MyJack. So they're saying that was what you call commission. Okay, commission, and for some other work that they've done. And Paris, like, they're already making enough money. Okay, so we don't know what the outcome is, if they got to return the money or John Bronca got to pay the money or what, but I don't know. Okay, so Paris is worried about the money now. Okay, now you got to remember, in the last will and testament, I did a video, and we are going to look up the last will, Michael Jackson, last will and testament. Okay, Michael Jackson, last will and testament. Smoking Gun has a really good copy of it. Okay, Smoking Gun does it with the initials. Oh no, they took the. Oh no, there they are. Okay, so. Here, real quick, and I know I went over this. I know I did, but I think I need to. Joseph Jackson, that ain't your name. He didn't initial that in agreement. Okay, he's saying he's not married. Debbie Rowe, been dissolved. Yeah, because you did a fake divorce, but the marriage was never legit because it was in Australia. Okay, 3 children, Prince Michael Joseph Prince Michael Jackson Jr., that's not his name. His name is Michael Joseph Jackson Jr. And why name your son Joseph when that ain't even your name? Okay. Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, that's apparently Paris's real name. Okay. The hyphen is missing, but I don't know if that makes a difference. And Prince Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., his name is supposed to be Prince Michael Jackson II, right? And I have no other children living or deceased, no initials. Okay. Here we go. Now he's talking about the family trust. He going to initial this, that the Michael Jackson Family Trust, as amended and restated on March 22nd, 2002. Now remember, Paris, Prince, and Blanket are both born. So this right here is telling you, if you're confused, what supersedes this is the trust, the living trust, in which Michael's the trustee and trustor, in which Paris, Prince, or Blanket, or BG's name do not appear at all whatsoever in the living trust. Okay, so that's one page. The next page here, okay, here. Where is it? Where is it? I think it's on page 3. And here we go, page 3. All right, so here we go. Except as otherwise provided in this will, or in the trust referred to in Article 3, which we just went over, hereof, I have intentionally omitted to provide for my heirs. I have intentionally omitted to provide for my former wife, Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson. Okay, we got to, and he initialed that shit. He initialed that, right? So, so it is illegal Debbie gave him custody of those kids. Debbie gave him legal custody of Prince and Paris, okay? Prince and Paris, right? And so you can't disinherit them, okay, while they're minors, right? So the reason why BG, and I don't know the circumstances of BG, maybe there's some document that's never been released, but there was a birth certificate that came out that had no doctor on it, had all kind of blank spaces on it. It was redacted, the blank one, and then we found one that wasn't redacted and it was just blank underneath there. It's just all just so bizarre, okay? So, and then in the trust, it says they don't get money till 30, 35, and 40, right? So anyway, and guess what? If you can prove you are a blood relative, okay, because he says his kids, the family trust, his children in the trust, right? That you are Michael Jackson's blood, and blood heirs do not get disinherited. There's no statute of limitation for that per Judge Maybelline, because I went over that already, right? So Brandon can get the money at any time. Okay, Dante, if he is, I don't know, he could get it at any time if they can prove that they're Michael Jackson's DNA. Now, in order to disinherit people, you have to name them. You have to name them in the trust who you mean. You have to name them. Okay, so Paris was kicked out of Havenhurst for whatever reason, right? Maybe because she had the Confederate flag boyfriend, okay, that had Confederate flag tattoos and Confederate flag clothes and Confederacy all over his Instagram account. Remember that? Remember that? I do. Okay. And then she was shaving his head outside, like saying, and he's a skinhead too. Like being so sassy and just brass and just kind of troublemaking. Okay. So anyway, so we know that something funny's going on. Okay. Now she went back to 2018. If the estate is in on it, they're not going to say you have no right to contest this because you were emancipated. Now, if Paris did not emancipate immediately when she turned 18, she had to be a full-time student like Prince was. Got to be a full-time student. Right? So you can get all the way up to 26 years old if you're a full-time student, right? So with Paris going back to 2018, she was 20 years old at that time. So something is gnawing at her. So she filed that thing. Now, a lot of people, Perez Hilton and other people are saying because she found out that Michael molested kids. See, that's where I was going with this. She found out that Michael was molesting kids. So now she don't care about the estate. Well, Paris has done other things too. Remember when Michael lost his #1 thriller for RIAA status to the Eagles? A month or so later, she goes to the Eagles concert, posts it all over her Instagram, and she called Dan Henley a god or something like that, an eagle, stuff like that. So she was being a little bratty. Okay, so Paris has done bratty things, okay, towards Michael. I believe because she knows he's alive. So why would you do that to a dead man, right? So if you want to cover up your MJ tattoos, let's go here now. Okay, not when she covered them all up, not like that. Okay, so let's go to Paris, and this is reportedly. Okay, this is reportedly. Okay, here, see that tattoo? That used to have that on it. Okay, the MJ symbol. This MJ symbol. Okay, this MJ symbol. So now she's covering up Michael stuff, and people are thinking because she's found out, her and Omar, because Omar came to me at a farmer's market too, and I have a picture of him on my website. Okay, I have to say this before. Okay, if you are a kid friend of Michael's and you see other people get all this money and it changes their lifestyle, and all you got to say is Michael molested you, or you got information that will harm his projects, his product, his brand, his name, his legacy, and you ain't got to prove nothing. You don't have to show no DNA. You don't have to show anything. All you got to do is say, Michael molested me. And your whole life will change. Your financial life will change. Where you live changes. What you drive changes. What you wear changes. Where you go changes. Okay? So if I was one of those kids, I would think twice going, I want that too. Okay? All these liars, they freaking walking away scot clean and got great lives. You know, I can do the same thing. And I can get millions too. Okay, so just know that that's out there. Okay, just know that that's out there. Michael paid the first one in 94. It was a 94 settlement, 93 allegation, because he was addicted to drugs, and because of Debbie Rowe and Dr. Klein, Dr. Hoffman purposely addicted Michael Jackson to drugs, and he was on tour. And whenever you're on tour, you have cancellation insurance. So one of the reasons that are claimworthy of you canceling the tour is that you're too strung out on drugs. Okay, so Liz took him to rehab. Okay, she picked him up or something, and they went to rehab. Okay, Michael went to rehab, and so he got insurance money. That insurance money was used to pay Jordy Chandler. That insurance money was used to pay. Michael wanted it to go away. Michael's such an artist, and he was so motivated for his art. He just wanted to get back on tour to please the fans, because that gave him exhilaration. It gave him fuel. It gave him life. It gave him happiness. He just wanted to move on and go back to touring, go back to performing, and go back to pleasing the people, because that was his true love. Since he was a kid, that's what he wanted to do. So he said, okay, pay it, because it ain't coming out of my money. It's coming out of the cancellation insurance. Okay. So, once that happened, guess what? Payday. People can just say it. And now, since they think Michael's deceased, now Tom Mesereau did say, in a statement that there's no new allegations from Frank Cassio. Okay. Just the threat that he'll tell something. I'm wondering what that is, either molestation or that Michael's really not dead. Okay, and they want to keep it hush hush, because that came out when Leaving Neverland came out, and then they tried again because the Michael biopic is trying to come out. So they're trying to use the leverage of, we're going to destroy your investment. Okay, because Michael apparently sold the My Jack catalog, which Catherine didn't want him to, or he leased it, or he sold a portion of it. I think he leased it, leveraged it, okay, in order to have the money for the Michael biopic, because Michael likes to own his art. He likes to own his stuff, right? So therefore, so now we got Frank Cassio, okay? So anybody else who comes out, they just want to live that lifestyle. They're envious because the other people got paydays and they didn't have to prove anything. And the other ones, they want paydays too. They want paydays too. Okay, so anyway, so with Paris, so let's continue with Paris and the tattoo removal. Okay, here you go right here. Okay, there, and there's the tattoo. This is reportedly, this is on Reddit. Okay, and Perez Hilton also did that. Now, this is another tattoo. Okay, this is another one. The bad tattoo. Okay, here. This was the bad right here, the bad tattoo. Okay. Now, she's covered up, it seems like, prints over here, too. Because here's the prints. Uh-oh. Let's go back. Okay, so she's decided, and I don't know. See how this is? See right there? Bad. But I'm seeing the print symbol is covered up, too. Now, I don't know if this is temporary. I don't know, but there... Okay. But there it is on here, too. So maybe she was going for another style. I just don't know. I just don't know. Okay. But I don't think it's because she believes, like the other people are saying, that Michael molested them and she's turning on him. I believe she wants to payday. She wants to make more money. She wants to prove to her, because she lies and says, I'm a black girl, when all she does is bleach blonde her hair. Her hair is dark. Okay. And she does very, very, very white oriented music. Okay. But she says she's a black girl. It's nonsensical. And she don't date black people, and she don't really have a whole bunch of black friends. So it's just absurd. Okay. But, so I believe that they're threatening him with, we're going to expose that you faked your death and you're really alive. Okay. I don't think she has any idea if Michael is a molester or not. How the hell would she know? Okay. Unless she saw it. Right? Unless she saw it, because there's never any DNA proof, never any illegal child pornography in Michael's possession, never any DNA or anything like that on the girly magazines, or it's just, there's nothing there but just words. Okay. But Michael's apparently paid out all this money. And the weird thing is that it was totally the opposite. He was hanging around prepubescent boys because he didn't want to be sexually harassed. Men and women were sexually harassing Michael. At one of the awards show, Eddie Murphy did the wrist grab to where Michael was like, oh my God. And that was the end of Michael and Eddie Murphy. Okay. Friendship. Okay. So men and women were harassing Michael sexually because he freaking sex symbol like crazy. Okay. And I'm sorry, Mike, I would have did the same thing if I was living in the house with you and you 19-year-old Michael. 19-year-old Michael. So anyway, good for you, Mickey. And now we have Brandon Howard. Okay. Now, let me show Brandon Howard real quick. Okay, let's go to the Instagram. So if new people are watching this, I want to show a picture of Brandon. And nobody got that voice. Okay, that Michael voice, but Brandon. Okay, and Peter Michael Bobby. Okay, here's Brandon Howard. Okay, and here he is here. Okay, and this is fair use because I want people to hear his voice. Okay, let me see which one I'm gonna go to. That's him playing the piano. Oh, that was him playing the piano. Okay, so here is Brandon. I love this song. Okay, there's Brandon playing the piano, and let me give a little bit of sound just for a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go. Okay, I want you to hear his voice though. Okay, so Brandon has the same voice as Michael Jackson. Okay, Mickey has a deep voice. Mickey is an alto. Mickey is an alto. She's an alto. So Michael's voice took over. Okay, Brandon has it. He looks like him. He sings like him. He's the birthday. Everything matches. Everything matches. Okay. All right. So let's do some rest in peace. Okay. The rest in peace is Malcolm Jamal Warner. Oh my God. In Costa Rica, he apparently drowned. Okay. A heavy current came, took him away, and he drowned and he died. Oh my God. He was 54 years old. Some people say, one fan left me a comment and said, I don't know who he is. Okay, he played Theo in the #1 show of the 80s, which was The Cosby Show. Okay, that's Malcolm Jamal Warner. Okay, and he did other things too, and a very loved, very sweet person, far as I know. Okay. So then, and then we just found out this morning. When this happened, I was like, "Oh my God, who else?" Because it comes in threes, like Michael said, right? Ozzy Osbourne, okay, a Black Sabbath. Remember, he ate bit off a rat's head or something, and he was known for that. Ozzy Osbourne. He's been sick and ill for years. He was, on drugs, but he's British, and he died. So rest in peace, Ozzy. Rest in peace for both of them. I hate to say it. Is there going to be a third one coming later today or tomorrow? Okay, I hope not. Okay, now when I was doing some research, into the Paris thing, looking for it, I discovered an article where 3 retired judges retired. Okay, so let's go here. 3 and 2 of them dealt with Michael Jackson's case. Okay, all right. So we already looked at that. Okay, here we go. These 3 people. It was an article, March 8th, 2024. Okay. All right. So these 3 is an article, and all it has is 3 judges that have retired. Well, Michael Beckloff, he was the probate judge for the Michael Jackson estate for many years. He retired. I didn't look up her too much, Donna Groman, but Yvette Palazuelos, okay? She was the judge for the Katherine Jackson versus AEG live trial. Isn't that amazing? Okay, that 2 of the 3 judges in this article had big roles in Michael Jackson's case. Well, they've retired. Okay, both of them. I think Yvette retired in 2024 too. Okay, but anyway, they retired. I thought that was kind of worth reporting. And let's see if I got everything else. Oh, the new judge. Oh my God. Okay, her name is Judge Penny. The new judge that's handling the probate case now. Her name is what's her first name? Her name is, hold on, Brenda. Judge Brenda Penny. Okay, Judge Brenda Penny. Okay, Judge Brenda Penny. Let's see if there's a picture of her. Since, that one, judges' lives have been threatened and stuff like that. Well, here she is. Okay, here she is. She's a sister girl. Okay, and that's her. So she's now, I don't know if there were judges between Mitchell Beckloff and her, but she's the current judge for the Michael Jackson estate, probate judge. But guess what else she's affiliated with? Britney Spears conservatorship. Okay, Judge Brenda Penny receiving death threats over the Britney Spears case. So, I guess they, I thought that was somewhat interesting. And let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to bring up. Where's my notes? I think that's it, guys. I think that is it. So, be sure to order your Stays All Day Shea. That's new work and play, because everybody got skin. Okay. And also go to Michael Jackson Insider. If you have been putting off watching the Alive Docu-series, be sure that you can watch the Alive Docu-series. Be sure to watch it. Take some time out, because I got over 800 Death Host videos, okay? And I think the reason why Paris has done all these things to Michael is not because of her dead father, which would be totally outrageously cruel and just ridiculous, especially when nobody can prove that these kids were molested, right? It's because she knows he's alive, okay? And she wants money, and she's finding out that, that these people are getting these big payouts, and all they got to do is lie. So all she got to do is do a little something, something too, and get some money, right? And apparently, She has unfollowed Prince, according to Perez Hilton, and she has unfollowed the estate. Let's take a look on her Instagram. Okay, now Perez Hilton gets a lot wrong. He ain't up on it. He can't even pronounce people's names right. Okay, the Casio name. Okay, so there we go. Okay, got it. Okay, thanks. Oh, let me just read you a review real quick. It just came up. It says, "How are you? I really need some J'adore shea butter. It's my favorite. Please tell me when you will have more. Thanks in advance." Right? J'adore. It smells like J'adore, but we call it J'adore. Okay, and it's so good. And then let's see what else is going on. All right, so now let's go to Paris's Instagram. Paris Jackson. Let's go to her official Instagram. Here it is. And let's see her followers. Following 708. Let's see if there's a search. Let's go to Michael Jackson. Let's do Michael Jackson. No result found. Let's see. No results found. Okay. So, maybe Perez Hilton is correct. No results found. That's Michael Jackson's official one. And then we're going to look up, what is Prince's name on Instagram? Let's see. Let me Google it. Official Prince Jackson Instagram. And let's see what that is. And I don't know if she was ever following them because I didn't check. So I don't know if this is new or not new. I have no idea. Here it is, at Prince Jackson. Okay, so here's his official account because it has the arrow on it. Okay, his official account, and he's following 333. So now let's do Paris. He's probably following his sister, but let's do Paris Jackson. Let's see. Yep, he's following her. So now let's go back to her account. And it was at Prince Jackson. Was it at Prince Jackson? Yeah, at Prince Jackson. So let's go back. And, I'm not following him. Okay, whatever. Okay, because I think, it's my skin butter store. So that's why I'm not following, because it's a skin butter store. So Prince Jackson following. So now, we could try to get Paris up here. Okay, so now I got to look up Paris Jackson. There we are, Paris. And this was her official account and following. And let's see, Prince Jackson. Prince Jackson. No results found. Prince Jackson. No results found. Okay, so apparently, I don't know if she was ever following him, but I don't know. I never checked to see who she's following. I don't really follow Paris a whole bunch. I follow her because she's a part of Michael. So that's why I follow her. But I find it extremely interesting that right now, so there's something weird going on with her in the estate. Something weird. Something that's coming, because I remember there was a fake document filed before she was 18 saying that she gets Havenhurst, that they gave Havenhurst to her. And that's when she had moved in to Havenhurst. But they got her out of there. Okay. And so and she was living there for a minute. And one of the most disgusting things that I've ever seen is when Michael had built that wing onto Havenhurst, and black people bought that house. I don't give a damn what you say. Black people money bought that house. Okay, Jackson 5. Because I showed you guys Jackie saying, somebody said, describe your fans, and he said they're black. My fans are black, because they were the Jackson 5. That's when they got that house in the early 70s. Okay, so Michael had created around Thriller time a memory room, and he put pictures of his whole family and their success and what they've done all over the room. Okay, it was a memorial, not because anybody died, but just what they went through and their success. And Michael loved his career. Michael always showed up because Joe taught him, without you, we don't have a show. So Michael always showed up because Michael knew without him, the show can't really go on, right? Because he was the lead singer of their hits. So that guy with the Confederate flag, I think his name was Michael something. He had Confederate flag tattoos and stuff, and his drums were up in that room, and he took a video up in that room with a freaking Confederate flag. Okay? I mean, golly. Okay, so I don't know everything that's going on, but I do know what the facts are. Okay? So, Paris, I hope you get probably more bees with honey, girl. You probably get more bees with honey. So I don't know if it's a good idea to buck up against Michael and the estate. I'm not sure if that's really a good idea. But if the money is splurged, she has every right, maybe, if she was still under the dependency of the estate, if she was still under custody of the estate, perhaps she has a right to look at the accounting and see where the money's spent. Okay. But if it's something as a threat, because to me, I don't know why it couldn't be handled without lawyers. I don't know why John Bronco or John McClane wouldn't just say, here, girl, this is where the money went. This is how it was spent. You know what I mean? But it seems like she's getting married, and it seems like perhaps maybe her boyfriend wants all that Michael money. I don't know. But anyway, and I don't know if Paris did a tribute to her father, and that also would make sense why she performed on June 25th, the anniversary of the death announcement. That would make sense why she did not honor that day and take that day off. Because she's sad because he's dead. She said, I don't pick the dates. Well, you pick where you're going to perform and where you're not going to perform. Okay? And I get it. But I don't know if she did any kind of tribute to Michael on that day or not when she performed. I have no idea. All right, guys. So go to michaeljacksoninsider.com and also theskinbutterstore.com. And see you next time. Bye-bye.